Hello, my name is Ann, and welcome to our Lifting Us Up in Liberty program. Now let's join our broadcast as Pastor Earl Wallace explains how the Bible applies to our personal and civic lives.
In Mark 8:14 through 15, and in Matthew 16:11 through 12, Jesus cautions his disciples to beware of the leaven, meaning the doctrinal teaching of the Pharisees and of Herod. They understood that he did not tell them to beware of the leaven of bread, but of the teaching of the Pharisees and Herod. Leaven is a process of fundamentally breaking down and changing the chemical structure of that into which an agent is inserted and mixed, typically involving effervescence and the giving off of heat. Leaven metaphorically is what happens when error is mixed with truth, and vice versa. This has profound implications for the context of the times we face today in our beloved USA. First of all, Jesus said that both the Pharisees and Herod each have doctrine that leavens, poisons, and ruins our ability to function as his disciples. This means the doctrine of the politically correct religious crowd, represented by the Pharisees, and the politically correct government crowd, represented by Herod, will cause us to lose our fire and heat for God. Political correctness is a way to make it seem righteous to silence biblical thought in our society. Anything that is PC, therefore, should be viewed as leaven that Christ warned us about. Jesus said there will be a parallel, equally bad effect between the doctrine of the PC religious crowd and the doctrine of the PC government crowd. Jesus did not say all mixing of religion and politics are bad. For we see how Israel was built on the application of biblical truth to civic and social life, and we see the same application in America's founding documents, the Declaration of Independence and the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The Declaration of Independence explains our inalienable rights to life and liberty come from God. The First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution conjoins 5 rights, starting with the freedom of religion, because biblical values are supposed to guide the other 4 provisions mentioned. Biblical values are supposed to guide our public speech and how our press operates, and the reasons for which we assemble, so we can have Bible studies everywhere, so we know upon what our government is based. And if government strays from those principles, we are to redress it by amassing ourselves together to compel it to stick to biblical principles. Thus, there is a biblical basis to our Bill of Rights and the U.S. Constitution. The leaven of 501c3, the IRS policy that tries to convince us there must be a separation of church and state, however, was designed to lead us astray into thinking that, contrary to our founding documents, there should be a separation between the rational public policies the Bible provides and our government. 501c3 says God is separate from what man creates in government and civic affairs. As we celebrate this 4th of July, let's revitalize the amazing principles in our founding documents, especially the provisions of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, which is a law passed by Congress at the start of our nation, which guarantees that churches are tax immune. After all, the First Amendment says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. When churches minister under that provision of religious freedom in civic and political life, this nation once again will get lifted up in liberty.
Thank you for listening. We hope you will join us in fulfilling 2 Chronicles 7:14 by repenting and turning to Christ, so God saves your soul and heals our land. For more information about how the Bible applies to every aspect of our lives, including civics, visit us at libertycfchurch.org. Email us at office@libertycfchurch.org. Mail us at P.O. Box 235, Latham, New York 12110. Or call us at 518-545-7744. That's 518-545-7744.